Welcome back to That Dad Guy. It is June the 7th, 2024. I'm starting outside because I want to show you what has changed out here in the course of a few weeks from we're talking about. The side of my house now is completely green. All the grapevines, kiwi plants are full on down the house. The front of the yard, the nice cherry tree, the blossoms are gone now. It's just a foliage on the front now. Still looks nice. Lots of cover coming on here. The tulips have now passed and are no longer there anymore. So the garden bed is looking more like this. It does need to be weeded. I know from any of your comments you might have out there. Yeah, it needs some attention. We're getting some nice flowers in there. Also, the lilac bush on the side of the house, full bloom, smells wonderful. So greenery is all about here. But that's not why you tuned in today. You tuned in for the postcards that I received this week, the mail that came in, and it came in abundance today. Super happy with the amount of stuff, so I can't wait to share it. So let's go in and look. And look we shall. Look at all this mail that came in. Tons and tons and tons of it. Lots of official post-crossing ones too. I think I got 12 official post-crossing ones that showed up this week. So we're going to start with that. If you're finding me though for the first time, make sure you like, subscribe, leave positive comments, share with other people, and put the notification bell on so you don't miss out on any videos. At the end, we'll talk about upcoming videos and some that I've just posted that you may want to go back and look at if you've missed. Let's get to the official post-crossing first. The very first one I have is this one from Japan. It is beautiful. These are Japanese gardens. This card comes from Kevin. He says he lives in Saga, a small city surrounded by rice fields located in the southern part of Japan. So he chose this postcard because it shows a view of the Japanese garden Aichi Museum of Art located in one of the prefectures, about 7.5 hour drive from where he lives. The museum is listed as a 3-star site in the Michelin Green Guide in Japan, while its spectacular and immaculately maintained Japanese gardens are ranked #1 in a row since 2003. Yeah, as you all know, those of you who've been watching my channel for any time, you know that Japan is #1 on my bucket list to go to when one day we can afford to do it. I thought it was interesting too. I just did a video not too long ago about airmail, so a stamp of the month. And there it says par avion. So if you're wondering why it says it in French coming from Japan, you check out my video and you can find out all about it. Also, there's a giveaway in that video too, so you want to make sure you go and watch that so you can be a part of it. Now, that card I got from Japan came in 12 days. The next card I have came from China. It's a little bit worn and beat up a little bit, but it only took 12 days to get here as well. You can see it's kind of warped a bit, but there's the card. Very, very cute. And oh yes, thank you, Kevin, for the last card. This card comes from Lee, so thank you, Lee, for this. It says she chose this card for me for the lovely chick, and has checked out my YouTube channel too, so hopefully she's watching this one. I love this waterfall stamp. Look how big it is too. I know I often talk about the size of stamps or the shapes of stamps. That's what really catches my eye. Sometimes the subject matter catches my eye. I've certainly had beautiful ones come from Charlie in the Netherlands of Lego stamps. They were amazing. So lots of different themes catch my eye when it comes to stamps and post-crossing. So thank you, Lee, for that. The next card comes from Hungary, and it is a Beatles card. I've actually had this Beatles card before and sent it out. So it's kind of that retro look of the Beatles. And on the back, we have Andrea sent me a quote. It says, "Never forget who you are, little star, shining brighter than all the stars in the sky. Never forget how to dream. Greetings from Budapest, the capital of Hungary." So thank you, Andrea, for that. And she's got a priority sticker on there. There's the stamp. I like it a lot, and I love the quote. The next card comes from Sweden. And if I am talking a little bit fast, it's because there is a lot to go through, and I want to make sure you see it all. So this is a World Wildlife Federation hedgehog card. This comes from Ivor. He lives in the southern part of Sweden in a town with 32,000 inhabitants. It's a very touristy town. Likes to travel, forest, walks, post-crossing, and listening to music, and go to the cinema or theater and reading. there are the beautiful stamps, the Swedish flag and the beautiful flowers. So thank you, Ivor, for that. The next card comes from Germany, and you'll see a pattern. A lot of cards will be coming from Germany from here on in. We have this really cool travel bag with all the stickers of places they've been to. This comes from Jolina. It says, your life sounds really cool. I'm not even 20 yet, and I want to experience some things like that too. Loves Lego, especially the Lego flowers. And they're in Hanover, Germany. I really like the Lego Flower series too. I have quite a few of them. I still have many that I still have to build, but I'll get to them eventually when time permits. There's the stamp. So thank you so much for that card. And I like the vintage case for traveling. Makes me think of an upcoming trip that I have. Very much looking forward to. Next card comes from Japan. I'll get this one out of order. Should put with my other Japanese one. And I'll show you the front of the card here. And it says that he's an elementary school student in Japan. I'm sending you this postcard of my favorite book. It's a chapter book with the yellow fox as the main character. And this comes from Mitsuki. So Mitsuki, thanks for the card. And there's a shaped stamp. So thank you so much for that. I really like it. And I'm not familiar with the chapter book, but I will have to look it up. Next one comes from Germany again. And we've got a post box. I love post box cards. And this comes from Luther. And he's from a town of 360,000 people. It's situated in the green area with several well-known areas unique for its railway suspension bridge, which was built in 1901. So if you know it, you know the area. And there's a nice sign language stamp. Thank you, Luther. Another card from Germany. We have a summer card. As I was just showing you the yard and our start to summer. I know we're still a couple weeks away before summer, but it's getting there and it feels like it out there now. It says, greetings from the north part of Germany. I have a huge garden and this year I planted more vegetables than the last year. I'm hoping for a good harvest. This comes from Stephanie. And what I really liked about this one, see the Postcrossing sticker? The cute sheep on it. I really like that. I mean, there's a stamp. But that drew my attention a lot. So thank you, Stephanie, for that. And I hope you get a lot of great vegetables from your garden. Another card from Germany, a hedgehog card, of course. I like on this one, it says, thank you, postman. So I know it's not directed to me, it's directed to the postman and the letter carriers that delivered it from her country to mine. So this comes from Azuka. And it says, I hope you're fine and like this card. Yeah, I love this card. And they're in Berlin. And I like the bat stamp too. So thank you for that. Next card, guess where it's from? It's from Germany. It's a Tausendchen card and hedgehogs. People know I like hedgehogs. So it says, this is from Uta. And he chose this Tausendchen card for me. He loves hiking and going across the mountains and photography and reading and traveling on their Vespa. So I really like doing a lot of those things as well. I don't have a Vespa, but I have an electric car now, so that's my contribution. I really enjoy being into that. And so Uta, thank you so much. I like the stamp. You see the moon there. And I like the card too. Next card from Germany, Hamburg. So lots of things there to read about the city of Hamburg. It says they enjoy Lego as well. It says, I hope you like the Playmobil stamp. There's the Playmobil stamp. I do. And, oh, then they go on to say, Switzerland went on to the World Hockey Final, beating Canada as well as Germany. Obviously, had a great team. Yeah, World Cup of Hockey was not good for Canada this time around. We lost out and then kept losing, so we didn't even medal in the end. So, sore point there, but yeah, good luck to, congratulations to Switzerland on their accomplishment. The last one that I have is from Germany. A lot of cards from Germany this week. A beautiful black and white, serene looking image. And did I say who that last one was from? That was from Conrad, this one here. So thank you, Conrad, for that. This one here, it says, hello and happy postcrossing from Germany, where I live in the pretty UNESCO World Heritage town of Bamberg. It's known for its many breweries, and this comes from Claudia. And there are the stamps. This one is just holding on. It made it thanks, I think, mostly to that sticker. And there's another Playmobil. So thank you so much, Claudia, for that. All right, we're going to shift gears. We're going to go into direct swaps and surprises that showed up in the mail. The first is a surprise. It comes from Germany as well. It is this one, and it comes from Matt. He said, I found your address while watching your videos. I started postcrossing last weekend. Well, welcome to postcrossing. You're going to have a great time. I just sent my first 5 cards. I live in Hanover region, just like the one a couple cards ago. The brand, I can't read what that says, something that's 70 kilometers away. I love German spelling of the city name. It's Brunswick. So, okay, Brunswick is, I guess, is what it is. We share a good rivalry with Brunswick, mostly about soccer. Love your videos. So he has a connection to me because I live in New Brunswick, which is very similar to his Brunswick in Germany. So thank you, Matt, for the surprise card and the cat stamp. It's well decorated. You did a good job. And happy postcrossing. I'll send you something back too. I'll try. If I can, I'm gonna try to read through this address. I was having some difficulty. I think some moisture might have got on the card, and so it's messed up the letters a little bit. If there's a way for you to send me a direct message on Instagram, if you're watching this, I'm ThatDadGuy1974. If you can do that, then you can send me your address properly. All right, speaking of confusion with addresses, this one we're not going to get into too much, but I received this envelope with these amazing stamps. Comes from Ukraine, and the envelope that goes with it. This comes from Hannah in Ukraine, and the address doesn't match the Hannah that I normally send to in Ukraine, so I'm wondering if she has been displaced and moved to a new place. If you are Hannah, please send me a message on this. Let me know if this is your new address, or if this is another Hannah. I want to make sure I send something back to the right person here. But there are some stamps in here, so we're going to talk about that in another video. Very generous and some detailed information about the stamps that were sent. All right, speaking of people that like stamps, this one comes from Steve in Australia. This is Tom Cruise, not Tom Cruise of Top Gear, but Tom Cruise, the rural mailman. He writes on the back that he came across this postcard, which was issued a couple of years ago, and thought to myself, I know who I should send this to. And needless to say, it was me. So thinking of Tom Cruise seems to have been quite well known, though I'd never been aware of him. So Tom Cruise, I did a little bit of Googling on him. I'm going to show you the back too. Steve decorates it nicely with all his mushroom and the stamp and airmail. So all sorts of wonderful things there. This particular Tom Cruise became a rural mailman. And he took on a kind of a treacherous route almost, where he had his truck, and not only did he deliver the mail, but he delivered grocery items and fuel and all sorts of things. His travel, now my mail route is about 40 kilometers long. His travel route took him 2 weeks to deliver through, and he had to cross flood areas and desert areas and get stuck and fix his own vehicle, and he did so much that there was a movie made after him. He's also been given the Order of the British Empire as well. He's a member of the British Empire, the MBE. So he has had a very full life of service and good recognition for it as well. So thank you so much for this. So if you want to look up Tom Cruise on Wikipedia, you can find all about his history and the bits that I haven't said as well. All right. My next card comes from Germany. A lot of cards from Germany. This from my friend Julianne. And look at the ships and the ship and the lighthouse on here. She went on her holiday to the North Sea again, and she made a themed card for me. So amazing, amazing stamps. And the washi tape she used, it looks like rope from a ship. She's got ship stickers, ship stamps, and ship postcard. I love that she took the effort to theme out this card and put that little extra special effort to make it wonderful to get. All right, the next envelope card comes from Media in Finland. First, take a look at the stamps. Wonderful. And then in the side, we've got a Batman Lego figure, kind of in his swimwear Batman. And She was thanking me for some stamps that I sent. You're welcome. And she saw my car video about the electric car that I bought, so she thought she'd send me a car postcard. Beautiful looking car. Looks like it's from a ballet or a musical though, the theme. So I appreciate that, Medea. Medea wasn't done. The mail caught up again. There's another envelope. And we kind of have a bit of a shaped pattern to this one here with cake and all sorts of lovely treats there. A tea on the side, some flowers. Looks delicious. You guys know I like my food. And I went out with my sister today for lunch. And we went to a Korean-Japanese fusion restaurant, which was new to me. Well, it was new to her as well. But I guess it's been around for a couple of years in the town. I just never had been there before. And we loved everything about it. So this, getting back on topic, from Medea, sent this really cute hedgehog card. And it says, do I ask if I had any summer holiday before my cruise? I do not. But working the mail in the summer really doesn't take very long most of the time. So I do get a lot of free time on top of that. And then she sent this massive card that she got from the Maritime Museum in Kotka. So thank you so much, Medea, for that. And I always love hearing about your travels and your adventures. All right, the next several cards come from Ross in Ontario, but he happened to be in Alberta, where he was at the Banff Springs Hotel. This was a CP hotel, a Canadian Pacific. It's probably a Delta now, but these hotels were built by the railroad, and so they're dotted across the country, all sorts of different ones. We have one here in town, massive. This is probably the most famous of all the CP hotels in Canada. This is in Banff Springs National Park in the Rockies, and it's subsequently where Ross and my brother Eric met each other. They both worked there at this. So he sent me that. He was out there on a conference. He also sent me this one showing the town of Banff in amongst the Rockies. And I'll show you the stamp. All the stamps are the same on these cards, so I won't need to show you them all. I guess they're the little ones like that, so you can see that they're the same. And then he sent this one here, which is more of a poster card of the Banff Springs Hotel, the community. And there's the little stamp. And we have these. These were a set of stamps that came out, posters, and that's the train that he would have taken, that he came out in 1989 to go to the Banff Springs Hotel, which also would have been the train that my brother took from Moncton to get out there. And then he sent this card as well, getting all sorts of nice views of Banff. And then finally, he sent me this Make a Moose card, Mail a Moose. So I've sent some of these before out. They're really fun cards. I don't give you any room really to write any messages, but they're a fun card to get. Speaking of moose, we actually had a moose in our neighborhood this morning. I'm pretty sure my son didn't get a chance to see it, but he showed up and walked in, not around our house, but in our neighborhood. So when he gets home from school, I'll have to tell him about that and show him some of the videos that have popped up. All right, moving along. A super cute card. This comes from Ambre in France. We got the hedgehog inside the tree stump there. It says, hope you are fine, and thank you for the message there. There's the stamp. We got the Peter Pan stamp. We've got mushroom washi tape. Stephen will appreciate that. And well decorated. Another hedgehog down there too. She wasn't done though. She sent another card. This one here of a French island in the Indian Ocean. Says it reminds her a lot of New Caledonia. And then we have the stamps. Now this, if you know, you can see the French word up there for this. This always makes kids laugh when they say it out in French class when they're learning their animals when they're young, because they feel like they've been swearing when you translate that English word and that French word. So she's just so nicely decorated too. So I got sidetracked a little bit. The next one comes from, thank you, for all those. The next one comes from Jilly B of Jilly B Living Her Life Her Way. She sent this with all these stamps. It's a Peppa Pig, and, and it's a Peppa Pig envelope, and inside we have a letter that talks about the release Peppa Pig stamps. Jilly B said she couldn't get the matching postcards to go at the time. They weren't available. She was hoping to get them in the future. If you go to Jilly B Living Her Life Her Way on YouTube, make sure you subscribe while you're there. She does a great video showing you all the Peppa Pig stamps that she did get though. So thank you for that. My next card, speaking of Jilly B, is a bee. This one comes from Basil in India, in Goa. So there was a World Bee Day. So he went and got special cancellations done. Beautiful, with all the honeycombs and things. A nice stamp on there as well. So thank you so much, Basil, for that. I appreciate the effort you've gone into sending it. And it got here really quickly too. We were messaging back and forth a little bit, and it's just amazing how some areas, like earlier I was saying, got letters from China and Japan in 12 days, and I can send a card to my neighbor in Maine in the United States, and it could sometimes take 2 or 3 weeks to get to her. So who knows how long it is. Anyways, moving along, this one here, this classic gasoline pumps comes from Smokey of Snail Mail with Smokey. You want to go check out his channel as well. And we do a episode every month called Stamp versus Stamp. That just came out yesterday, if I remember. No, 2 days ago. 2 days ago. So you want to go check that out. It was kind of the great debate. We each had one stamp that we debated whether or not we wanted it in our collection and why we didn't want it in our collection and why. So kind of an interesting take. You watch both of our videos on it. And there are some beautiful black and white stamps, photography series, and the school bus. And he's got some decorations in there too. So thank you so much, Smokey. The next card comes from Monty and Violet in Manitoba. No, in Saskatchewan, excuse me. It's a card from Winnipeg, Manitoba, but they're in Saskatchewan. And they just talked about going for a trip just to get out of town. And there are the stamps. Nice, some classic stamps on there. Yesterday, I spent most of the day sorting out some of the stamps that I bought from the auction over the last few months. And so I finished off one box and got them all sorted, so I'm happy about that. The next card comes from Charlie in the Netherlands. I talked about her and the Lego minifigure stamps earlier in the video. Well, she sent me a card, and she had some adorable hedgehog stickers, so she put them on the card to me, and there the windmill and the cow. So I really appreciate that. The lovely stickers, great decorations, and it's great hearing from you again. Next card comes from Katja in Sweden, and we got some nice flowers on there. And she said that the weather's been a little bit humid for her lately, so everything's kind of hot and sticky. You kind of get into that. We've had some days like that in May. I assume we'll get some summer days like that. Days that we think we're grateful to have air conditioning around. I love these 80s toys on this stamp. I'm not sure how old that stamp is, but it's a great one with, looks like Voltron and Furbies and all sorts of things on there. Next card comes from my friend Kristen in Texas, the United States. We have the cats here, and she's done a little bit of her artwork on there, and we've got a forever stamp. It's so great to hear from you again, Kristen. It's been a while. We have this card. It comes from Michelle. So Michelle's from the UK, but she was on vacation in Menorca, and so while she was there, she sent me a postcard on her travels and the nice round stamps. Love it. Thank you so much. Then this card showed up from Lithuania. This comes from Skyestia, and I hadn't heard from her in a while either, so it's always great when friends who have had some breaks away from post-crossing or direct swaps reach out once again, so I can write her back and see how things are going. And there's the stamp. But I'm glad to hear that she went to a meetup. You see all the people that were in attendance for it. She gets to go to a few of them, which I'm very happy she does. All right, this next envelope comes from Marcia in British Columbia. There are the stamps on it. And inside, she sent me a few things, which I think I'm going to wait till another video to show you on those, just because this video will be forever. So we'll get back to Marcia's. So thank you, Marcia, for your generosity. This one comes from Renee Lewis. And there's the Forever stamp. She's part of the Unicorn gang. You can see the Unicorn washi. You got to go to her channel, subscribe. Renee Lewis puts out a bunch of things too. She was recently in Michigan and she got this postcard. And this is of Gerald Ford. And while she was there, there's some stickers and big unicorn. She went to the Gerald Ford Presidential Library and Museum. And so she sent me a brochure so I can read all up on the ex-president and what's in his library and museum. I've never been to a presidential library before. I know that they are dotted around the United States based on wherever the presidents were from. So thank you, Renee, for that. And enjoy your current trip as she's now on vacation. And then here's another thing that we're gonna wait till later to show you as well. This comes from Peter in Belgium. And there are the stamps. Peter is originally from Vancouver, Canada, so on the west coast, and he watches the channel, so he thought he would surprise me by sending me some stamps, so I will show you those in a future video. And then the last thing I have that showed up with a big huge surprise comes from Vera in Germany, and she has just covered this envelope in stamps. Lots of different varieties in here, including herring, because she is herring salad. That's one of the things that she's known for. There are some hedgehogs there as well. All sorts of great stamps, the car stamp. So there could be lots of different themes that we've talked about and stuff in here. And so I am also going to wait for another video to show you what's in here. I know there's so many things that I want to show you, but this is deserving inside. There's a whole other envelope full of things. Vera was the winner of the giveaway last month, and she's received some stuff. And then she decided to surprise me by sending me a package as well. So I want to do it justice and all these things be able to show them in the future. Well, that is it. That is an amazing amount of stuff for 1 week. Excuse me. So let's talk about real quick, what do we have coming up? Tomorrow is the stamp show here in town, and it is the mega auction, they call it. So I'm not really sure what to expect from it, whether there'll be dealers selling stuff like the 10-cent books and things like they normally have, or whether it will just be one giant auction where you go and bid on things. Excuse me. So tomorrow, I'm going to normally do my live stream, and I think I will still do it at 12 o'clock Atlantic Standard Time. It might be a few minutes earlier. We'll see. I will put up a notification ahead of time just to let you know. But I'll give you an idea of what's at this auction, what I'll be seeing, and then we'll have a little bit of discussion back and forth like we do every week, talk about the question of the month, and answer some of your questions, and then I'll have my auction. I probably won't have a specific video for that one, but if I do win anything, I'll certainly show you what it is in the future. So that's on the weekend. And then what do we have coming up? Well, next week my son is in exam week, but my daughter will be returning from Montreal for a couple of weeks for his graduation. So she'll arrive next week, so that'll be fun. And yeah, then the week after he has graduation and prom. So the next 2 weeks are going to be busy, and I will put out videos as I can, but bear with me if there are days that don't have videos come out, because I will have other things on my plate to do. Thank you so much for tuning in, as you always do, and have a magical week. What, follow? You say like, subscribe, share, and tell all your friends.
Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy?